So I've been thinking as I've been chilling here in my hammock and drinking, drinking, thinking. Like, it's funny how those two things usually go hand in hand, at least for creative geniuses like me and Kanye West. Maybe he needs to lay off the drinking, and then he wouldn't be in so much debt. I don't know. That's money for you. Anyway, I've been putting some thought into what names to use for my online social media presence. I've been trying to find something that I like, that's catchy too. I mean, obviously it would make sense if everything was the exact same name. Right now, I have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. I have a Tumblr set up, but I don't really use it. I just reserved the name, one of the names that I've been thinking of. So what I've settled on, what I'm pretty sure I've settled on, is that I'm going to change as many of the names as possible to Studio Fernandina. Just all one word, no spaces, nothing special. And basically that's because, like you can see in my other videos, and my studio's right there behind me. I live in a studio apartment, and it also doubles as my art studio, my work studio. So it's a studio, and we're in Fernandina Beach. I mean, granted, you can't see a beach anywhere around me right now, but that's still what it's called. So, Studio Fernandina it is. Now, the downside to that is that name doesn't fit on Twitter. But Twitter really hasn't been a useful tool for me at all. I just have it intertwined with the other apps, and when I post something on Instagram, it automatically goes to it. So I figure I'm just going to deactivate the Twitter account, so I'm just going to have Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook that I'm using right now for Studio Fernandina. Now, I still hope to get my own website set up eventually, and I still hope to start selling my own artwork online, obviously through my own website if I have that set up, or if I don't have that set up, I have an Etsy page that will probably have the same name, Studio Fernandina, that I'll start selling some stuff on until I can get to the point where I actually have the time. Well, I have the time, but until I actually sit down and finally convince myself that it's time to have my own website. It's not like it's anything drastically important in my head, like OCD about planning and having things a certain way, but some things it just depends on how you want to work as far as art-wise, at least from what I think. When you look at some artists, like if you're a performance artist, if you're a live painter, or if you're just someone who's always out and about in multiple different places, and you already have an established career as an artist, selling your own work and making your own work, then yeah, it makes sense to have your own website. I'm not to that point yet. I don't do any of those things. I want to, but I don't have the resources for that. I could spend the money. I could charge everything to one of my credit cards and buy all the tents and the tables and the stands and everything I need, and get thousands of business cards printed up and all the things that I'm going to do eventually in time, hopefully by the end of this year. But I just don't have that now. So there's no point in me having my own website right now. So that's probably what the name's going to be, Studio Fernandina. I will settle upon that in the next week or two, and then I'll hopefully have everything changed and ready for the before the end of March. So when I do the March update, the March video update thing for that, the year in the life of an artist type of thing that I've started doing just because I'm partly bored out of my mind, being not having a full-time regular job right now, then you'll see hopefully that that's what came into being, and that's what I'll have from now on. So it'll be nice, uniform. You could just search for one name, Studio Fernandina, and it'll come up on, like I said, on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Tumblr, even though I'm not really using the Tumblr right now, but it seems to be a better resource than Twitter or anything else out there that I'd want to use at the moment. And then I can look up some other cool art stuff and the other things I'm interested in. That's it's nice like that. Anyway, I'm going to go finish this beer and get back to doing a whole load of nothing and enjoying the day and listening to some music. So hope you're doing something fun on this this leap day, this extra time that we've been given because we're too stupid as a species to reinvent our calendar and unify our counting systems since we're too set in the old days and not realizing that our technological superiority should probably take precedent over our historical inaccuracies.